Russia is using brutal missile and drone attacks to leave Ukraine cold and dark this winter. President Putin is trying to weaponize winter.
NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg on Tuesday said that the NATO allies will ramp up aid for Ukraine as Russian President Vladimir Putin is using winter as a weapon of war because his forces are failing on the battlefield. NATO nations are meeting in Romania to discuss support for Ukraine. The Russian military has been targeting Ukraine's power grid with airstrikes for weeks, leaving millions either without electricity or facing the prospect of a freezing winter without power, BBC reported, quoting Stoltenberg. I think we all have seen these pictures taken from satellites where you see Europe in light and then you see Ukraine dark. So there is a huge task to rebuild all of this, Mr. Stoltenberg said. He added that the escalating attacks from Russia were a sign that Mr. Putin is failing in his war, especially with Russia losing ground around Kyiv, Kharkiv and Kherson. So yes, we can expect more attacks. No one can say exactly how many, but President Putin and Russia has demonstrated a willingness to inflict suffering and to a level of brutality we haven't seen in Europe since the Second World War. The two-day meeting of the NATO foreign minister in Bucharest would serve as a platform to mobilize more support for Ukraine. NATO foreign ministers will focus on increasing military assistance for Ukraine, such as air defense systems and ammunition, even as diplomats acknowledge supply and capacity issues, but also discuss non-lethal aid. Mr. Stoltenberg's comments were echoed by several ministers from the 30-member alliance, who were also joined by Finland and Sweden, as they look to secure full membership pending Turkish and Hungarian ratifications. The coming months will be a big test for us all. For Ukraine, it is existential. For us, moral. We must continue helping Ukraine for as long as necessary, Slovak Foreign Minister Rastislav Kesar said. It is going to be a terrible winter for Ukraine, so we are working to strengthen our support for it to be resilient, a senior European diplomat added. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky warned his fellow citizens of new Russian attacks this week that could be as bad as last week's, the worst yet, which left millions of people with no heat, water or power. Russia acknowledges attacking Ukrainian infrastructure but denies its intent is to hurt civilians. Ministers will also discuss Ukraine's application for NATO membership, but they are likely to only confirm the alliance's open-door policy while NATO membership still appears far away. We stated that Ukraine will become a member. I expect allies to reiterate that position, Mr. Stoltenberg said.